start in a couple of minutes. What's that? Oh, on. You want to start? Yes. Oh.
7 o'clock by my calendar.
Oh, 7 o'clock by his.
Good evening, everybody. Great to see everybody. What a great evening we have tonight. We have some land development, and the best thing we have is swearing in our new officers. What a great evening. But before we get started, this official Bristol Township Council meeting for June 15th, 2023, and the starting time is 7 o'clock. So please stand and pledge allegiance. A moment of silence. Remember our police officers, our service personnel are overseas that are here, ones that didn't make it back, and also our emergency responders. Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Again, great to see everybody. Can't believe the summer's halfway over.
Didn't even start yet. Knock it off.
I'm still trying to shed my weight from
What planet do
my
you live
winter
on?
weight from 2012. All right, yeah, or COVID weight, and like it's not happening. But we do need roll call.
7:02 on Bowen Island.
I didn't mess nothing up.
President Bowen,
I'll need him here.
Vice President Murphy,
Present.
Mr. Antonello,
I am here.
Mr. Blaylock.
Here.
Ms. Dunlap,
Here.
Mr. Glassen,
Present.
Mrs. Wagner.
Present.
Before the meeting started, we met in executive session. Scott?
Yes, prior to tonight's meeting, council met in executive session where matters of litigation and township real estate were discussed.
Thank you. Monthly reports are available for review in the Township Manager's Office. Public comments will be taken on land development official action items. General comments will be taken during opportunity for residents to address council. Next, we have on the agenda presentation, Police Department new officers ceremony swearing in. Ceremonial swearing in. And I love the new uniforms. They look great. Thank you.
Is this place shifted? Like the center's not center anymore.
Yeah, you're over all that.
All right.
That's good. Yeah. This is Chief Colton. Great to see you.
Good evening. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Well, as you already stated, we have 3 officers that we're going to be ceremoniously swearing in tonight. They've been employed by Bristol Township Police Department since November of 2022. So the first officer I'd like to call up is Officer Dalton Brady, badge number 204. Dalton, come on up. Yes, there we go. Officer Brady was born and raised in Bristol Borough, and he attended Bucks County Technical High School here in Bristol Township for emergency services. Officer Brady attended Bucks County Community College, where he played baseball and received an associate's degree in criminal justice. Officer Brady graduated from the Philadelphia Police Academy in August of 2018, and he served with the SEPTA Police Department for 5 years prior to being hired by Bristol Township. Officer Brady and his wife, Ashley, also a police officer in Bristol Borough, reside in the township and are very happy to be serving the Bristol Township communities. At this time, I'd like to call Officer Brady's wife, Ashley, up to hold the Bible. And the oath of office will be administered by the Honorable Judge Kevin Wagner.
Good evening. Great to see
Hi,
you.
Kevin.
What, Judge Wagner?
Set?
All set.
All right, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will enforce the laws
and I will enforce the laws
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
and the ordinances of Bristol Township,
and the ordinance of Bristol Township,
and that I will discharge
and that I will discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
fidelity,
with fidelity,
integrity,
integrity,
and honesty,
and honesty,
without consideration
without consideration
to a person's race,
to a person's race,
color,
color,
sex,
sex,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
age,
age,
national origin,
ancestry,
handicap, or disability.
As a police officer with the Bristol Township Police Department.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
No, I was running in. I got it.
Congrats. Good to have you here.
Man, that we're changing protocol here.
Good, all right. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, going to do them all at once at the end.
The second officer this evening is Officer Brandon Katz, badge number 205. Brandon? Officer Katz is originally from Manalapan, New Jersey. He currently lives in Northeast Philadelphia with his girlfriend Katie and their 2 dogs. He attended East Stroudsburg University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in business management in May of 2016. He graduated from the Philadelphia Police Academy in April of 2021 and served in the Philadelphia Police Department, working in the 24th Police District. While off duty, Brandon enjoys spending time with his friends and his family. At this time, I'd like to call Katie to hold the Bible for the oath of office.
Let's see if I can do it. Hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth
and the ordinances of Bristol Township,
and the ordinances of Bristol Township,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
integrity,
integrity,
and honesty without consideration
without consideration
to a person's race,
to a person's race,
color,
color,
sex,
sex,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
age,
national origin,
ancestry, handicap, or disability. As a police officer with the Bristol Township Police Department. So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Good job, Brandon. Good job. And the last officer being sworn in tonight is Officer Daniel Mulhern, badge number 207. Daniel? That's Dada. Officer Mulhern is from Warminster, Pennsylvania. He graduated from William Tennant High School, and then he graduated from Brenathan College, where he earned a bachelor's degree in biology. Daniel played ice hockey throughout his life, and after college, he went overseas and played professional hockey in Sweden for the, I'm going to say this wrong, Oscar Rakers Vikings in the city of Stockholm. After returning into the United States in 2018, he met his fiancée, Georgie Newber. They had a son, Daniel James Mulhern III, called James. He was born on July 12th, 2021. Daniel worked for his father's moving business throughout his life during high school and college. He attended Temple Ambler Police Academy and graduated in March 2023. Officer Mulhern was hired by the Bristol Township Police Department while he was in the police academy. Daniel's the first member of his family to become a police officer and is looking forward to being a positive asset to the Bristol Township community for many years to come. At this time, I'd like to call Officer Mulhern's fiancee, Georgia, and James, the third, who will hold the Bible for the oath of office.
Would you like to hold this? You can hold that for us? 2 hands, there you go. Repeat after me, please.
Yes, sir.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will enforce
and that I will enforce
the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
and the ordinances of Bristol Township,
and the ordinance of Bristol Township,
and that I will discharge
and that I will discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
integrity,
integrity,
honesty without consideration
honesty without consideration
to a person's race,
to a person's race,
color,
color,
sex,
sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
sexual orientation,
age,
age,
national origin,
national origin,
ancestry,
ancestry,
handicap or disability,
handicap, or disability,
as a police officer
as a police officer
of the Bristol Township Police Department,
of the Bristol Township Police Department,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Congratulations.
Good job, James.
Chief, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much again.
Congratulations to all 3 new officers. Thank you, Chief Colton.
Thanks, Chief.
Again, congratulations. Next on the agenda is the glassing grants to our wonderful volunteer fire companies. Every year and rescue squad, thank you. So the first one up is Croydon Fire Company.
Hang on, let me get out there, all right? We'll go right off, I got them in order.
Yep.
Up here,
These grants come right out of our budget. It's to help our volunteer fire company. What's that? Taxes wise. So we appreciate everything the volunteer fire companies do for our community. So the first one is Croydon Fire Company. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see the volunteer fire companies come up. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Tom. Next one is Edgley. Hey, Bill. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Who's the chief? Alan Strode. Alan. Excuse me. Next, Levittown 2. Alan. Current president. You know this guy?
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah. Thanks for
Thank you.
taking your time to come out. Appreciate it. Next is my favorite, Newportville Fire Company.
Checks so big, you got 2 guys.
Yeah.
Two people to carry.
Yeah. Thanks, John. Freddie, thanks for everything.
Thank you. Thanks for what you do.
Next is 3rd District Fire Company. Howard.
Congrats, Howard.
Yeah,
You thought you were getting away.
thanks, Howard. Marty, Bucks County Rescue Squad. Hey, Marty, how you doing? And the last is Levittown Fairless Hills Rescue Squad. I just want to thank all the volunteer fire companies and the rescue squad. And it's also great to put a name to all the different companies. And we really appreciate everything you guys do day and night. And I know it's hard. I hear the rules, the training that has to go, and it's when you hear the man hours, it's just unbelievable. And just taking your time out to come here is really appreciated. So, as always, anything any of us can do for any of you guys, we're here, and women. So thank you so much for coming out. Appreciate it. Next, we have a public hearing and ordinances. Scott?
Yes, we have a application of, Bryce, I might need help with this one. The Paverny Shake Group LLC at 400 West Franklin Street, Suite 300, Baltimore, Maryland. They're requesting a zoning change from the M1 Light Manufacturing District to a C Commercial District for the property located at 6801 Bristol Pike, Levittown, PA. Tax map parcel numbers 57492 and 57493. And Bryce McGuigan is here on behalf of the applicant.
All right, good evening, Council. Bryce McGuigan from Begley Carlin here on behalf of the applicant, the Paverny Shake Group. We call them PSG because it's a little shorter, a little easier to pronounce. Thank you so much for having us here. Like Scott said, this is kind of a two-pronged application. You're going to hear us a little later tonight too. Basically, the property at issue is over at 6801 Bristol Pike. It's currently home to Keith's Auto, and our plan is to take the two parcels that comprise about 2.5 acres on the property, combine them together, and instead of Keith's Auto, we're proposing a 3-story indoor storage facility. It's completely modern, climate controlled, and as you can see, this is the current site. Randy, if you can go to our next, I'm sorry here. Yeah, the render one, perfect. No, it'll be up in a second. But anyhow, so this is the plan. Instead, we're going to have one building that's going to be approximately 36,000 square foot footprint. It's going to be, like I said, we're at the corner of Bristol Pike, of Airport Road, and Sylvia Avenue. The goal is to expand Sylvia Avenue, to increase that. It's partially opened right now, and then obviously develop the property as you see here. We've received zoning approval to do just that several months ago. We received recommended approval from the Planning Commission 2 months ago for the actual project. We received recommended approval from the Planning Commission just a few weeks ago for the zoning change. And essentially, to not go too much into the land development part, the two parcels basically split right where I'm showing you right here. The one upward on Sylvia Ave is zoned light industrial. The one at the corner of the streets is zoned commercial, and what we're proposing is one consolidated parcel. It's zoned commercial. It's going to match all of the other lots that are all along Bristol Pike, and we think it's going to fit the area pretty well. As for the use, we'll get into that in a few minutes, but this particular part right here is just for the zoning change. And obviously, if the council members have any questions, we have our team here tonight. I have Greg Serino from PSG. I also have our engineer, Matt, from Bowler, to answer any questions you have.
I don't. It's pretty. You're blowing one thing together. It's either light industrial or all commercial.
Yeah, that's
So,
basically it,
this
yeah.
is a public hearing. Is there any public comments? Public is, feel free to comment on this.
Seeing
Okay.
What's the total square footage of the building?
So it's going to be, the footprint is 36,000 square feet. It's going to be 3 stories.
3 stories, so 36,000 square feet is the footprint, so there's a lot of storage there.
Yes, sir, trying to maximize the space, but as part of the project, and you'll hear this in a bit, I don't want to get too much into it, you know, we're really trying to make a more efficient use of the space on the lot. Right now, it's pretty much 100% impervious surface, and what we're doing is we're trimming that down to approximately 55%, adding some actual designated stormwater management facilities where none exist on site, and just trying to make something that looks a little bit better than what exists there now.
Okay.
All right, at this time, seeing no further public comment, we can close the public hearing, and if there's no other questions from council, action is in order.
We need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Well, we have a motion by Patrick Antonello, second by Joe Glasson on the motion. Is there any questions? What, was it Ray? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ray. All right, we'll make it official. The second was by Ray Blaylock. On the motion, is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Bryce. Alrighty. An ordinance of the Township, Bristol Township amending section 191-43 of chapter 191 Vehicles and Traffic of the Bristol Township Code of Ordinances, Schedule 20, XS, 191-84 to authorize districts designated for permit parking, consideration, take appropriate action. So,
Thank you, President Bowen. This is 2 additional permit parking. We've been having a lot of issues with commercial and residential being so close together. So we're asking to expand the residential permit parking on Hillary. This one is not about a commercial property, just a issue with a resident parking a lot of their vehicles on the Township Street and making it very hard for the residents to get in and out of their properties. If you recall, last month we posted no permit or no parking on the one side of Newportville Road where all the vans were parked. Now they're parking on the other side of Hillary, and it's making it hard to get around the bend as well as get out of the driveways. The police have been called, township has been called. We have the permit parking all settled for Newportville Road. You know, this ordinance for Hillary is in order. I'll be trying to speak with the property owner and see if we can make some better arrangements for his vehicles. He lives on Newportville Road, and he has 6 or 7 vans. And then the additional one is for Sylvie. The resident was here last month, saw that it was for all the other streets in the neighborhood. That commercial business does teeter over to Sylvie at sometimes, and just not that any of us think, or the one resident on that street thinks that anybody from the storage center will park there, but this will be for residential parking only, just in case. That's the ordinance. Motion is in order.
Thank you. I'll make that motion to approve that.
motion by Sidney Murphy,
I will second it, Craig.
second by Joe Glasson on the motion. Is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Moving right along. We have the consent agenda we're doing. Consider approval of voucher list and requisition dated June 15th, 2023, an amount of $2,684,350.03. Consider approval of May 18th, 2023 council meeting minutes. Consider resolution for reserved handicap parking area for 903 Hillary Avenue, Croydon.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Miriam Wagner,
I'll second.
second by Sidney Murphy. On the motion, is there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. Next, we have a report from Township Manager. I'm sorry, I took my allergy medicine today.
Did more than that.
I wasn't saying anything.
All right, I see the looks.
We just have a couple quick announcements and updates. The Soul Cruisers concert that was scheduled for tomorrow looks like 90% rain, calling for thunderstorms as well. So we canceled it for tomorrow, and fortunate our Park and Rec Director had rain dates for all of our concerts. So this will be going to the rain date Wednesday, June 28th, from 7 to 9:30. So if you didn't get your tickets already, you have a couple more weeks to get your tickets. So just wanted to make that announcement. Also, our road paving is going along. So we finished off at South Olds Boulevard, Hickory Lane, and Hickory Road, and Apple Tree Drive for the milling, and they are scheduled for continued milling tomorrow, which will probably get called off again because of the rain. But moving right along, they're doing well. Quick update about Randall Avenue Bridge, also known as the Edgeley Bridge. We're still having issues getting the high rail truck approved for the inspection through Amtrak. We were out there 2 times, or Gilmore and Associates was out there 2 times last week. The truck didn't pass inspection. We're hoping to get out there again next week, and hopefully the truck will pass inspection. And hopefully the rain forecasted that I've seen all for next week will not hinder any inspections as well. But we do have the permit, the traffic signal permit for Randall and Radcliffe. It's approved by PennDOT, just waiting signatures to have at least Radcliffe to a solid green the entire time for the traffic signal, and only turning if it's there's a one driveway on Randall that would emit the change in the lights, as well as for the pedestrian access. There's a ped if they needed to cross Randall. Those are the only updates I have on that for now. Thank you.
Next report from Township Solicitor.
Yes, thank you. Really, we have nothing to report tonight. You just have 2 more land developments to go, and that's all we have left on our agenda.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that report. New business. Any other new business? Okay, next we have application of Perverni. I knew I messed that up. Chic.
PSG group.
There we go. Is that, what's the last name? Is it Chic?
Chic.
Okay. Group LLC, 400 West Franklin Street, Suite 300, Baltimore, Maryland, requesting preliminary final land development approval in order to consolidate 2 parcels and construct a self-storage facility on the property located at 6801 Bristol Pike, Levittown, tax parcel number 5-74-92 and 5-74-93.
All right.
Good to see you again.
Good evening again, Council. Long time no see. Thank you for indulging us yet again tonight. This part of the project, we're asking for preliminary and final land development approval for the actual development itself. Like I mentioned during the prior hearing a few moments ago, the proposal is to construct a 36,000 square foot self-storage facility on the consolidated parcels here at the corner of Bristol Pike, Airport Road, and Sylvia Avenue. Like I said, as part of the project, we're planning to build out Sylvie a little further than it's already built out, make further improvements to the roadway, reduce impervious surface on site, add stormwater management, and at the end of the day, what we have is what we believe is going to be a use that fits very, very well within the area, in that it's a commercial-esque use, but one that's very low intensity, low density. One's going to provide very minimal impact to the residents who are living along Sylvia Ave, a few of them who I know are here tonight and who've been involved in the process. And we've done our best to take the residents' concerns into consideration, keep them apprised of the project through the process, meet with them on site, have Zoom meetings, and also discuss the project both before and after regularly scheduled meetings. And there have been plenty over the past several months. So at the end of the day, we've received zoning relief for the project several months ago. We've received recommended approval at the Planning Commission back in April. And obviously, we're asking for approval for a few separate waivers here tonight. I will be more than happy to address all of the waivers or any particular waivers if council desires. We still have our team here, Greg Serino and Matt Landro. More than happy to go through those. And obviously, if council has any questions, we will do our very, very best to address that. But otherwise, we thank you for your time.
One question, this is, all the storage will be inside?
Correct, interior only, yes. And it's climate controlled, like I said, state of the art. All 3 floors will be interior storage only.
Mr. Schroeder, Township Engineer, any comment?
I had one quick question. Did I understand you correctly on the prior hearing that the current lot size in the property is mostly impervious now, so the improvement will actually improve the stormwater management on that site?
I believe it is nearly 100% impervious currently. And our proposal.
9.5.
Exactly. Pretty much 100%. So we're actually going to be removing nearly 45% of the concrete
Well, that
on
needs
site.
that there.
Yeah, exactly.
That area.
And you know, you'll see from our renderings that there's a lot of greenery that we're adding to the property. So the goal is to make something that, again, thanks, Randy. You can see all the greenery that we're adding that's not there now. And apart from that, obviously, formal stormwater management, which we have to do. But the goal is to make something that both fits better within the community, something that works better for the surrounding homes, and something that candidly looks nice. And you know, while PSG is a Baltimore-based company, you can see their work in the community now. They recently constructed the storage facility in Middletown Township, just up the road near where the old Aldi was, and that's pretty much complete now. And as you can see, they pride themselves on building something that's nice and something that can be viewed upon favorably in the community. It's not the stereotypical storage facility that some people think about when they go, oh, self-storage. This is a really nice quality facility and one that we think is going to help bring up this little piece of land that right now, let's be honest, it's probably seen some better days, and we hope those are coming, better days.
Question? Can you talk to, excuse me, talk to me about the traffic flow?
Sure. So there are going to be 3 entrances and exits to the site. There's one through Airport, there's another one here on Sylvie, and there's one near the back on Sylvie as well, which is required, which is necessary to be able to access this rear portion of the property. And essentially, the reason why there are so many, because when we had, I believe it was the County Planning Commission, they recommended closing the Airport road exit. And for us, that was really important to maintain, because what we're trying to do is provide an alternate avenue of access so that customers don't have to go through Sylvie and add increased traffic to the road for the property owners and the residents who live there. So for us, that's really important. To be honest, one of the benefits of this use is the fact that it's not a very intense use. There's not many people coming and going, but what we'd like to do is try to, the little bit of traffic this will generate, we want to try to do our best to incentivize those guests to use this way through Airport and minimize what traffic's going to be on Sylvie. And for whatever traffic does go on Sylvie, we're making some significant improvements to the road to help address that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Motion's in order. Questions from the audience? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name's Joan Termina, and I live at 6811 Sylvie Avenue. So my concern is we're voting on whatever we're voting on now. I'm assuming what he's presented. So the gate, and that's what I want, what my concern is, the width of the gate, which is at the end of my property. You have the pointer there. What is the width of the gate in the back on Airport, on Sylvie Avenue? Do you have a pointer?
So you're talking about?
Yeah.
Size of the access,
Yeah.
the driveway?
Yeah, my driveway, put the pointer there, is right where the gate is. So that.
You're across from it, across the street from it.
Exactly across from it.
So,
My question is, the gate at the back, how what is the width of that, of the traffic going out to Sylvia Avenue?
I think our engineer, 41 feet.
41 feet, okay? So that means that there's my house, there's not much parking up front. Okay, my neighbor parks in front of his house in the next lot. So that would push all our parking down around in front of the lots that we have yet to know what will be developed in the future, which I think it's imminent. So.
I apologize, I want to understand what you're saying, and I'm not grasping what the difficulty is. So, yeah. Is the expectation that there'll be off-site parking for the people coming and going?
No, can I walk over to there? It might be
Sure,
easier.
sure.
There's a microphone there.
So it's harder to see when you're here. This is our driveway right here,
Right,
okay? And so this is the curve in the road.
Right.
So I have tenants, and they're all legally registered. So they park in the street, so that's gonna push them around to this back area here.
now I understand what you're saying.
Right,
I-
there's
yeah.
really I can't park in front of my house because there's mailboxes and fire hydrants. So we have to park on this side, and they've now taken up 40 feet of the street, portion of the street. I don't even know from here to there how, it might be 80, I'm 30, 50, it might be 80 feet. So they've taken up almost half of the street that's open right now. That's always been my concern.
Got it, okay.
But you can park in front of your house.
No, she's got
No,
mailboxes.
no, I mean, not where the mailboxes are, but
I.
on the other side of your driveway.
No, that's my neighbor's house on
Neighbor's.
the other side, and he parks his truck in front of his house.
You've
Randy,
no
Randy,
parking in
look
front
up.
of your house.
Do you want that?
What's your name again, dear?
I'm sorry, it's
No.
Joan Termina.
Joan, thank you, Joan.
I've owned the house for 44 years now.
Right. How many tenants?
Yeah.
I have 2 units. I have UNOs for all of them. I pay extra water and
I'm
sewer.
not asking any of
I
that,
have
Joan.
1 tenant in 1 apartment and 3 in the other. They're moving out. I'm hoping to keep
I'm just trying to get an idea how many
4
cars.
cars, 4
Okay,
cars, and
yeah,
I'm hoping
thank
to
you.
get it down to 3 cars.
Okay. Huh.
What's, what about in,
If I may address some of those issues, you know, through the process, we've gone through several different iterations of exactly the best way to effectuate access, but also to address some of these parking concerns. And we did offer to move that fire hydrant, but for a variety of reasons, apparently, that was not accepted, that offer. But at the end of the day, you know, what we're trying to do is try to find a nice balance between us being able to use and to access our property, but also to allow the neighbors to continue to use their properties reasonably. So as part of the planned extension of Sylvie that we're doing here, in total, we're adding an extra 200 feet of curbing. So that's gonna be an extra 200 feet of area where neighbors can park. So we're not gonna be using that. Our customers are not gonna be using that. So even though it might be a little bit further down, it's still gonna be much more parking than what's there now, even if you might have to walk a little bit to get there.
Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome, thank you.
So you were gonna move a fire hydrant and you're adding 200 feet of curbs.
We were we offered, but that offer was not accepted. But what we are doing is we're,
But by who not accepted?
I believe it was the resident.
Okay.
I
Yes,
believe that
ma'am.
was-
Well, if they move the fire hydrant, Craig, I'm gonna guess, Craig,
in front of your
yeah,
house.
that another
Yeah.
neighbor's gonna get the fire hydrant.
That could go down the road a little more.
Yeah,
Where there's no houses.
The reason is the fire hydrant isn't on my property. I own the lot. You really can't see the lot lines there. I have a lot line map with me. I own my house, and there's 3 lots next to me owned by a gentleman. The fire hydrant is on his property. So if he develops his property, that if they move the fire hydrant across the street, I would lose that parking because he can develop his property if he's allowed to, and that would supersede because he owns that property. That's why I said it wouldn't benefit me it would be an impediment to me if they moved it to the other side of the street, because that would create less parking there. So that's why,
Well, wait a minute, because by removing the fire hydrant, it would allow a guy to develop his property?
no.
I misunderstood the way you explained that.
So I own 3 lots next to my house.
Got it, and that's
I-
where folks are parking now?
No,
Oh,
you
okay.
can't park in front of the house, okay? So if they move the fire hydrant, it really isn't a benefit to me because a gentleman owns those 3 lots, and if he develops them, his driveway would be there. So I can't park in front of his driveway. So I'm thinking it in the future. I mean, we're already here tonight, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think they're already trying to rezone some of this person's lots, because I think the development there is imminent. This is my feeling, what I've seen. So that's why I said moving the fire hydrant to the other side would then prevent us from parking where the fire hydrant is, because I do not own those 3 lots, but I had mowed them, maintained them, cut the trees when they fell on the yard for 44 years. But I don't physically, legally own the lot. I just take care of the 3
And they're
lots.
vacant lots,
They're vacant lots.
and there's a fire hydrant in front of one of them?
Right,
Yep.
so her lot is here, and she only has this much road frontage. And she's talking about these lots owned by Don Simons.
Yeah, they're a little smaller in the frontage probably, but yes.
And that's where her cars are parking where available over there?
No, they're parking in the curve of the street.
Across the street,
Like over here. right
Got
now.
it.
right?
Thank
There's
you.
her house.
Yep.
Could move the mailboxes a little bit more, and then you could still put one in front of your house. And if you move the, what do you call that?
See, if
Fire
you-
hydrant, you can put another car over there.
Yeah, but that is not my land, that's my concern
But nobody's there.
at this time.
Okay,
Yes, you're
well,
right.
but nobody's there. There's nobody there.
Okay,
I mean, there's
Even so,
parking on the street.
you know, the benefit and boon to the township with this particular development is significant. They are adding the 200 feet and putting curbing in there, which creates parking spaces. So, and quite frankly, I personally would say move the fire hydrant if it was me, and the mailboxes. And I'm sure this company, if you had asked them, would move your mailboxes too, because they're attempting to be accommodating. That's the way I'm looking at it.
And this is, the Bucks County Planning Commission wanted to use all of Sylvie for coming in.
okay.
And
I do understand.
I don't understand that one, why you want to use all of Sylvie in a residential area to come in.
No, I don't. But you're looking probably at a fire hydrant, and then you're looking at a single mailbox, and then
Yeah,
you're
the
looking.
single one.
That single one isn't mine. Somebody in the other side is using it. My mailboxes are at the bottom of my driveway. That mailbox is sitting, I think, on the edge of my property, because every time we get it surveyed, it goes from this way to this way. So it's on the edge of the property. It's not my mailbox.
Crazy.
Yeah, but that again, I
understand what you're saying. I'm just raising my objection, which I
No, no,
have
yeah.
legal right to do, and, we'll see what
yeah.
happens down the road.
Yeah, thanks, Joan.
frankly, that mailbox is not an insurmountable obstacle. Like, that's all, relative to the issue that we're talking about. So, okay, I know enough about this. Anybody else?
We need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Patrick
Second that
Antonello,
motion.
second by, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Second by Ray Blaylock on the motion. Is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. We understand your concerns. Thank you for bringing them up.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have application of STD Associates LP 1027. Let me redo that. Application of STD Associates LP 1027 Conshohocken Road, Conshohocken, PA, requesting preliminary and final land development approval in order to construct 2 warehouse buildings on a property located at 805 North Wilson Avenue, Bristol, tax parcel number 5-73-120, and an M1 light manufacturing and M2 heavy manufacturing.
Good evening. Good evening. Greg Edelman here on behalf of the applicant. We're here this evening to follow up a sketch plan that was presented to the council, I believe, in the fall regarding redevelopment and additional development of the property at 805 North Wilson. The property is actually in two zoning districts, your M1 and your M2, currently used as industrial research laboratory as well. Proposal is to create a new warehouse building as well as a potential demolition of the existing buildings for an additional warehouse building. So there's long-term, long-range planning going on here as well for this property. It's been put up on the overhead here. We're looking at a 100,000 square foot building to the right, and then the redevelopment of the two existing industrial buildings for approximately 230,000 square foot building. Overall impervious coverage remains below the 65% permitted. This property currently has no stormwater management. As a result of the redevelopment, you'll have substantial stormwater management, including multiple stormwater basins and facilities to help handle stormwater runoff coming off of the property. Access remains the same coming off of Wilson. There is an emergency access off of Wood, which will remain. It'll be potentially converted either to pavers or, as you see here, a paved area, but it is not a primary access at all. So you won't have any truck traffic going in through the residential neighborhood there. Overall, in a nutshell, that's it. It's a proposed redevelopment for warehousing. We're happy to answer any questions you have. We have seen a draft resolution, all conditions and everything, and the letters are will comply. So we don't have any issues with any of the comments from your engineer with respect to the overall project. That's it.
Any tenants yet? Prospective?
No, not at this moment.
Any industry that you're targeting?
No industry, but obviously there's substantial interest in the industry for this type of warehouse product. We expect great demand coming out of this once the approval has been granted and we move forward with getting the rest of the permits.
Yep, I would agree, especially in our locale, and it's hot right now.
It's ideal.
Yep.
It's absolutely ideal.
Mr. Schroeder?
Yes, President Bowen?
Yes. Is there any comments on that?
I have no comments.
And two in a row, we're increasing our stormwater management, 2 projects in a row.
This is a substantial improvement on your stormwater controls.
It's not too often we get to enjoy.
Yes.
Normally, we're trying to cut the line down to the last 6 inches of what they can
Understood.
get. And it's
That's
kinda
only for
nice.
fast food, Joe.
All right, a motion's in order.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Patrick Antonello.
I'll second it, Chris.
Second by Joe Glasson on the motion. Is there any questions?
Public comment first to see if there's any of that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Public?
Anybody got anything to,
Well, I was just,
before we vote?
does anybody have any questions? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, going once, twice, 3 times, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? I think I'm going to get fired.
Thank you very much for your time.
Good luck.
We appreciate it very much.
Hopefully
and
you
your support.
can get it moving.
Yeah.
We will. I'm sure in a couple of months when we get our NPDS, we'll have substantial interest for the
Good luck
project.
with that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Let me
Good
know
to
how
see
you make out. Your hair will be gray.
And sorry, our principal here, Mr. Michael Dvorak, who's the owner of the properties here as well. I think he'd like to also say thank you as well for your support.
Hello, Michael Ford.
Hello, sir.
Welcome to Bristol Township and staying here.
He's been here for 30
Been
years.
here 30 years.
And staying here.
Michael is a very low-key guy. He likes to hide. He doesn't like the limelight. So Randy knows Michael as well from her days in Plymouth, where Michael also has some properties as well, so.
Yeah, you may recall it used to be the former Corral Steel property. We took
Okay.
it over, it was empty, and we, as I say, we fixed it up and we filled it up. And we've had many, long-standing tenants. I think our average tenant length now is 11 years. We have one tenant who's actually been with us 28 years.
Wow, that's great.
So, but
So
thank
out
you.
of
and it's,
the municipalities you deal with, how's this one to deal with?
great.
Thank
The
you.
best.
Really great. Yeah, it
It
truly
is, though. Come a long way.
We've had a great relationship, with your fire marshal's office and, everything. It's really been, it's been great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for doing
investing.
business here.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Randy, good to see you.
Any other business?
Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
too.
Thank you.
Is there any other business?
Yes. Let me see.
Oh, I got one more. Thank you. Oh, man, I am done. Oh, God. It's a good thing I don't drink. Maybe I should.
You
All right,
don't?
the last one. Consider deed of dedication for sanitary sewer pump station located on 200 Anthony Circle.
Yeah, this is related to a development that you've previously approved. If you recall, the Anthony Phillips Circle LLC company, they did the warehouse and the truck terminal type thing. They had, part of the development was upgrading this pump station for us, and they've completed the improvements. Everything's acceptable, and they're just offering the documents now for dedication and final processing.
They've done a good job down there. I was there last week, 2 weeks ago. They improved the road and everything.
Yes,
Really put some money in that
Right,
place.
we'll take it.
they did.
So we need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Cindy Murphy.
Second.
Motion by Patrick Antonello on the motion. What? Second by Pat. On the motion, is there any questions? I'm getting fired tonight. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you.
The meds are kicking in.
Oh, boy.
Ooh-wee. I need to upgrade them. Okay, next we have other business. Is there any other business? Nope. Comments from council members? Nope. Opportunity residents to address council? Zero. And it's time for an adjournment. We need a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Make that a motion.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. All right, thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
Hey,